Enter into the relationship. So it was a common custom that when a tribe get a daughter from another tribe, they become family. Now they were together to support each other, and they had no right to fight with each other. So Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, took this privilege and took this, how can I say, initiate maybe, by entering to the marriage of some of the tribes, he could brought all tribes together and make them like one family. And in this way, they were just one ummah, and they could, become one community of Islam.
So marriage had a serious implication in turning, a positive implication in turning tribes who were enemies into friends. So marriage in the Arab society of that time was more of a tribal or collective decision, not the individual decision of two persons. Is that correct?
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
And we also learned from you that people wanted to be related to Prophet Muhammad.
Yes, there was competition. It was in such a way that many people wanted to propose their daughter or themselves to be wife of the Prophet. And the only one who could rescue Prophet from all these offers, it was Quran, because there was a verse in the Quran that said, you are not allowed any longer to get married any other wife. And even if the lady was so impressive, so Quran didn't leave any room for anyone to justify and say, okay, you have to accept this marriage. Why did you get married with other tribe and you didn't get married with our tribe? And one more thing that we can mention here, when we say the philosophy of this marriage was something beyond physical pleasure, it was that even prophets sometimes just proposed to a tribe to get their daughter. Or just they performed the ceremony and there wasn't even no case of relationship with that lady. So the only way just to bring people together. So it was political and social.
Right. So how did Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had any children after his first wife?
He had, as far as I remember, he had just his son Abraham, who passed away. And if all these marriages were for lust, then there must have been much more children.
Or for physical relationship, or for procreation, for having more descendants, then there must have been more descendants.
More children, yeah. Which was not the case.
Which is not the case.
So he had his children mostly from Khadija.
So we see that these marriages, this fact also supports the fact that these marriages were more as kind of institutional. They were not driven by the motives that a normal human would think of when marrying. So that is why we see that the marriages served as a connection to connect all the arch-rival tribes under the shadow of a unity and brotherhood
of Islam. Yes, yeah.
Okay. But it did not. The motivation was not what
other people think of.
Other people, a normal person, and normally people would think.
Yeah, and now when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, got married with Aisha, and then Omar offered his daughter, Hafsa. Omar was another company of Prophet Muhammad. His daughter was widow, and he first offered his daughter, Omar offered his daughter to Abu Bakr. He didn't accept. Omar offered his daughter to Uthman. He didn't offer. Then Prophet Muhammad said, okay, I'm here, I'm accepting, to be her husband. And so it was just another support. Some people says it was one political, because Omar had, a strong family and tribe, and the other point that some people say that Hafsa was in poverty, and Prophet was going to help her financially and emotionally. And after Hafsa, there was another lady with the name of Zainab bint Khuzaymah. Her husband was killed, and she was left with poverty and children. She was 65 years old. Prophet Muhammad proposed to get married with this lady. She was so ill, so poor, that, after 3 months after Prophet Muhammad's marriage, she passed away. So again, if a young man is driven by lust, he is not going to go to get married with a 65 years old who is going to die 3 months later. That's another example to prove and to explain that Prophet's philosophy of marriage was different from what some other people think.
Right. And also, not only physical pleasure, but also other associations. For instance, if Prophet desired wealth out of marriage, personal gains out of marriage.
So why she has chosen poor people?
Mostly poor,
yeah.
poor people.
And widows, and all widows except, as I had mentioned, Aish. Yeah.
Right. So now I have a burning question. A question which would come into the minds of most of my audience, I believe. That Islam has a restriction of 4, up a maximum 4. Right? Islam wants people to remain monogamous only if they can, as I understand, they can do justice and there is a reason, compelling reason, they can go into polygamy. But then, even then, there is a hard limit of 4.
Even we can say because Islam made condition of justice and equality treatment, and the Quran says you cannot be just to all your wives, so you have to take only one. So we can say almost Islam is a polygamous.
Monogamous.
Monogamous, yeah, monogamous culture and tradition, yes.
So, but in case of Prophet, we see that Prophet, peace be upon him, had more than 4 wives. So why is this so?
Because Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had a unique situation. First of all, when their husbands were killed in the battlefield, when they were defending themselves and defending Islam, or someone passed away and had no supporter. So there was no other way to help these people emotionally. Yes, Prophet Muhammad could not get married to every widows, but there was some exceptions. For example, let me give you one more example. We have Habibah. Habibah, she was the daughter of Abu Sufyan. Abu Sufyan was the biggest enemy of Prophet Muhammad. And so his daughter became Muslim, converted to Islam. His son, her husband also became Muslim. Because Abu Sufyan and all unbelievers in Mecca was torturing, Muslims, they had no other choice but to leave the country. They have left to Ethiopia, where Najashi, a Christian king, was running the country. In exile, where they were in Ethiopia, her husband left Islam, maybe because of so much pressure or some other thing, some other reason, I don't know. And he passed away there. Now we have Habibah, the daughter of Abu Sufyan, the biggest of the most important enemy of Islam. If Habibah was returning to Mecca, his father could even kill his daughter or torture her. And she was alone. Her husband passed away. He had no other choice. Prophet Muhammad sent someone to the king of Ethiopia, Najashi, and asked the king, please propose on my behalf to Habiba that I'm interested, I'm willing to marry her. So you see, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, accepted this marriage to give a help, emotional, financial help to Habiba, who was alone in exile. And on the other hand, by accepting this marriage, all the tribe, many of the tribe who were impressed and were influenced by Abu Sufyan, they became Muslim. And they had the hostility become very low because Prophet accepted the marriage of Abu Sufyan. Abu Sufyan still was hostile to the Prophet. And we know this story until that Prophet had even to leave Mecca and run away toward Medina. But anyway, this marriage reduced the hostility, and Prophet Muhammad also could help one lady who was suffering from emotional,
disaster.
Yeah. So back to your question, you said why other people could not get married more than 4, and Prophet got married with 9. I say, if people were allowed to get married 4 or more than 4, they were collecting all the young girls, and Prophet collected all the poor and old ladies. Some people like 80 years old, and some just passed away 3 months after their marriage. So Prophet Muhammad was exception, and he had a very unique role in society, and that's why he had exception from this rule.
So to summarize, I would say if Islam permitted the same for common Muslims, there very little chance for normal people to be at the same level of justice and sacrifice as Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, displayed for himself. Because I can't believe how someone can do justice between an 18-year-old and an 80-year-old person. So there was a great chance of misuse. So Islam diminished the opportunities to just one in most cases, and left a very small window for polygamy. We'll talk about this question of or the permission of polygamy in Islam